Love has often been portrayed as a mysterious emotion, a poetic and spiritual experience that transcends the boundaries of science. Yet, modern neuroscience reveals that love is not merely a feeling that arises from the heart, but a fundamental biological drive that originates deep within the brain. Much like hunger, thirst, or the need for sleep, love is an essential motivation system that ensures survival and reproduction. It propels human beings to form connections, seek closeness, and build relationships that are crucial to emotional and social well-being. Far from being just a romantic ideal, love is a neurochemical process embedded in the structure of our nervous system, designed to bond individuals and maintain social unity. At the core of this biological drive lies the brain's reward system, particularly regions such as the ventral tegmental area (VTA) and the nucleus accumbens. These structures are responsible for the sensations of pleasure, motivation, and reinforcement. When a person experiences love, these regions are activated, releasing dopamine, a neurotransmitter that generates feelings of joy, desire, and anticipation. This same pathway is activated by other essential drives, like food and survival instincts, which suggests that love is not simply a choice or an emotion, but a deeply ingrained biological necessity. The activation of these reward circuits ensures that the experience of love feels rewarding and that individuals are motivated to pursue and sustain close relationships. Researchers studying the brain through imaging techniques such as fMRI have observed that when individuals view photos of their romantic partners, the regions associated with reward, motivation, and goal-directed behavior light up with remarkable intensity. This neural activity resembles the brain's response to substances like cocaine or chocolate, both of which also trigger strong dopamine release. This discovery helps explain why love can feel intoxicating and even addictive. People in love often describe feeling euphoric, focused, and consumed by thoughts of the person they care for, and neuroscience confirms that these sensations have a clear biological basis. However, the brain does not limit love to romantic attraction. The same circuits are involved in other forms of attachment, such as the bond between parent and child or between close friends. These neural systems ensure the continuity of relationships that provide emotional support and survival advantages. The universality of this brain mechanism demonstrates that love is an evolutionary adaptation. In early human societies, those who formed strong social and emotional bonds were more likely to cooperate, protect one another, and raise offspring successfully. Thus, love and attachment became indispensable for both individual and species survival. The idea of love as a biological drive also explains why its absence or loss can lead to profound emotional pain. When the reward system that is accustomed to constant stimulation through connection suddenly becomes deprived, the brain reacts similarly to withdrawal. This is why people who experience heartbreak or separation often describe it as physically painful. The same reward systems that make love feel pleasurable also make its loss deeply distressing. Understanding love as a biological drive does not diminish its beauty or depth. Rather, it enhances our appreciation of how intricately it is woven into the human experience. The fact that the brain treats love as a necessity, similar to other vital functions, underscores its importance in shaping human behavior and society. From the moment we are born, the brain seeks connection. It is wired to attach, to give and receive affection, and to find safety in others. Love, therefore, is not a fleeting emotional state, but a driving force that anchors our identity and ensures the continuity of life itself. When people fall in love, their brains enter a state of heightened excitement and emotional intensity, driven by powerful neurochemical changes. Two of the most important chemicals responsible for this experience are dopamine and norepinephrine. Together, they form the foundation of romantic passion, creating the feelings of exhilaration, energy, and obsession that characterize the early stages of love. These chemicals are part of the brain's reward and motivation system, designed to focus attention on a specific person and reinforce behaviors that bring closeness and connection. In essence, dopamine and norepinephrine act as the brain's fuel for attraction and desire, transforming ordinary encounters into emotionally charged and unforgettable moments. Dopamine, often referred to as the pleasure neurotransmitter, plays a central role in this process. When someone falls in love, dopamine levels in the brain rise dramatically, particularly in the ventral tegmental area and nucleus accumbens regions associated with reward and motivation. This increase generates feelings of euphoria, energy, and focus, similar to the effects produced by certain addictive substances. The person in love feels an intense drive to be near their partner, to think about them constantly, and to seek ways to please them. Every interaction, text message, or affectionate gesture triggers another surge of dopamine, reinforcing the connection and deepening emotional involvement. This process explains why love can feel both thrilling and consuming, almost as if the brain has become addicted to another person. At the same time, norepinephrine, also known as noradrenaline, amplifies the physiological arousal that accompanies love. This neurotransmitter increases heart rate, sharpens attention, and heightens alertness, creating the physical sensations associated with infatuation, racing pulse, sweaty palms, and butterflies in the stomach. It also enhances memory, causing people to vividly recall every detail about their beloved, from their voice and scent to the smallest moments shared together. The combination of dopamine's pleasure and norepinephrine's arousal forms a powerful feedback loop that keeps the mind and body intensely focused on the object of affection. These neurochemical reactions serve an important evolutionary purpose. The heightened attention and motivation created by dopamine and norepinephrine help ensure that individuals form strong pair bonds, increasing the likelihood of reproduction and mutual support. From a biological standpoint, love's intensity is not an accident, but a mechanism designed to ensure that people stay committed long enough to build relationships and raise offspring. The thrill of passion, therefore, is nature's way of guaranteeing connection and continuity. Interestingly, this neurochemical cocktail also explains the irrational behaviors often linked to early-stage love. When dopamine and norepinephrine levels are elevated, areas of the brain associated with critical thinking and judgment, such as the prefrontal cortex, become less active. This is why people in love tend to idealize their partners, overlooking flaws and focusing only on positive qualities. The brain literally filters reality to maintain the pleasure and excitement of romantic attachment. While this can lead to impulsive decisions or unrealistic expectations, it also helps strengthen emotional commitment in the initial phase of bonding. As relationships mature, dopamine and norepinephrine levels eventually stabilize, giving way to other chemicals like oxytocin and vasopressin that sustain long-term attachment. However, the memory of those early dopamine-driven highs often remains deeply imprinted, which is why people remember the beginning of love as an exhilarating and transformative period. Understanding the roles of dopamine and norepinephrine reveals that passion is not simply a poetic mystery, but a carefully orchestrated neurochemical response that motivates human connection. Love feels electrifying because, at its core, it is the brain's way of rewarding us for choosing closeness, ensuring that the bond we form with another person becomes one of the most powerful forces in our lives. As love evolves from the initial spark of attraction into a deeper and more enduring connection, the brain shifts its chemical balance from the high energy excitement of dopamine and norepinephrine to the calming influence of oxytocin and vasopressin. These two hormones play a fundamental role in transforming fleeting passion into long-term attachment, trust, and emotional security. While the early phase of love is marked by intensity and obsession, the later phase is characterized by comfort, stability, and mutual care. Oxytocin and vasopressin are the neurochemical foundations of this transition, ensuring that human relationships endure beyond the initial thrill of infatuation. Oxytocin, often called the cuddle hormone or bonding chemical, is released in large amounts during physical touch, such as hugging, kissing, or sexual intimacy. It is also released during childbirth and breastfeeding, reinforcing the bond between a mother and her child. This hormone has a soothing effect on the brain, reducing stress and promoting feelings of safety and closeness. When two people spend time together in affectionate or intimate ways, oxytocin levels rise, deepening emotional trust and making them feel connected. The more frequently these bonding experiences occur, the stronger the emotional attachment becomes, as oxytocin strengthens the neural pathways associated with love and security. Vasopressin, a hormone closely related to oxytocin, plays a complementary role in sustaining long-term attachment. It is particularly linked to behaviors such as loyalty, protection, and commitment. Studies on monogamous animals, such as prairie voles, have shown that higher levels of vasopressin are associated with pair bonding and lifelong partnerships. In humans, vasopressin contributes to the desire to stay close to a partner, defend the relationship, and build a shared sense of belonging. It helps transform love from a temporary emotional experience into a long-term partnership rooted in mutual dependence and care. The effects of oxytocin and vasopressin extend beyond physical affection. They also influence emotional and psychological well-being. High levels of oxytocin are associated with reduced anxiety, lower blood pressure, and greater emotional resilience. This calming effect helps partners navigate challenges together with patience and understanding. At the same time, vasopressin supports cooperative behaviors, encouraging individuals to work as a team to protect and nurture their relationship. These hormones essentially rewire the brain to value companionship and connection over novelty and excitement, ensuring that love matures into a bond that provides lasting stability. What makes oxytocin and vasopressin particularly fascinating is how they shape the sense of trust. In experiments where participants were given oxytocin through a nasal spray, researchers observed increased trust and generosity in social interactions. The hormone appears to enhance one's willingness to take emotional risks, making it easier to confide in others and forgive mistakes. This explains why consistent affection and emotional openness strengthen relationships over time, while neglect or betrayal can weaken the biochemical foundation of attachment. In long-term relationships, oxytocin and vasopressin work together to balance passion with companionship. They promote empathy, reduce conflict, and create a sense of shared identity. The brain gradually learns to associate the presence of a partner with safety and comfort, leading to emotional dependence that can last for decades. This is why long-term partners often describe feeling calm and complete when together, even without constant excitement. Their bond has moved from the restless craving of early love to the peaceful contentment of emotional unity. Ultimately, oxytocin and vasopressin reveal that enduring love is built not only on attraction, but on biology. These hormones guide the transformation of love from a rush of passion into a deep, resilient attachment that supports both emotional and physical well-being. They ensure that human beings remain connected, cared for, and protected throughout life, proving that love is not just a fleeting feeling, but a vital biological process that sustains the very fabric of human connection. Love and attachment are not random emotional experiences, they are deeply rooted in human evolution. Neuroscience and evolutionary biology reveal that love developed as a survival mechanism, ensuring the continuation of the species through bonding, cooperation, and mutual care. The human brain evolved to form strong attachments because these emotional connections improved the chances of survival for both individuals and their offspring. Romantic love, parental love, and social attachment all share overlapping neural pathways, indicating that the capacity to love and bond is an ancient and essential part of what it means to be human. From an evolutionary perspective, love functions as a biological strategy for reproduction and survival. In early human societies, individuals who formed close pair bonds were more likely to raise healthy offspring, protect one another from threats, and share vital resources. The brain rewarded such bonding behaviors by releasing chemicals like dopamine, oxytocin, and vasopressin, which created feelings of pleasure, trust, and attachment. These neurochemical rewards reinforce the desire to stay together, ensuring stability and cooperation within families and tribes. Over time, this system became hardwired into human biology, making love not just a cultural concept, but an essential instinct. Neuroscience supports this idea by showing that both romantic and parental love activate the same regions of the brain, particularly the ventral tegmental area and the caudate nucleus areas involved. In motivation and reward, this overlap suggests that the brain does not differentiate much between caring for a partner and caring for a child. Both forms of love serve the same purpose of ensuring survival through connection. Romantic love motivates adults to form bonds that facilitate cooperation and protection, while parental love guarantees the nurturing and safeguarding of the next generation. In this way, love acts as the glue that holds human societies together, ensuring continuity and stability across generations. The evolutionary role of attachment also helps explain the pain of separation and rejection. When a person experiences the loss of a loved one, the same brain areas activated by physical pain, such as the anterior cingulate cortex, become active. This overlap between social and physical pain ensures that individuals are motivated to maintain their relationships and avoid isolation. In the harsh conditions of early human life, separation from one's group or mate could have meant death, so the brain evolved to treat social disconnection as a severe threat. This neural response still exists today, manifesting as emotional distress when relationships end or bonds are broken. Furthermore, love and attachment have shaped human behavior far beyond reproduction. They have influenced the development of empathy, cooperation, and morality. The ability to form emotional bonds encouraged humans to work together, share food, and protect one another, leading to the creation of communities and societies. Love fostered not only family units, but also friendships and alliances that allowed humans to survive in challenging environments. This capacity for deep emotional connection distinguishes humans from many other species and is one of the main reasons for the success of our evolution as social beings. Even today, the evolutionary purpose of love remains evident in the way people seek companionship, build families, and form friendships. The drive to love and be loved continues to shape decision making, motivation, and well-being. Neuroscience shows that when people engage in loving relationships, their stress levels decrease, immune systems strengthen, and overall health improves, further proof that love serves a life-preserving function. It enhances resilience, fosters cooperation, and ensures emotional stability, all of which are vital for survival in a complex and interconnected world. In essence, love and attachment evolved not as luxuries but as necessities. They are deeply woven into the brain's design, guiding human behavior toward connection, compassion, and care. By understanding love through the lens of neuroscience and evolution, we see it not as a mystery of the heart, but as one of nature's most brilliant strategies for keeping humanity alive and thriving. When someone experiences heartbreak, loss, or rejection, the pain that follows is not only emotional, but also neurological. Neuroscience has revealed that the brain processes emotional pain and physical pain through overlapping circuits, explaining why heartbreak can feel physically unbearable. When a romantic relationship ends or a loved one is lost, specific areas of the brain that are activated by physical injury, particularly the anterior cingulate cortex and the insula, become highly active. These regions are responsible for monitoring distress and generating the sensation of pain. This overlap shows that the human brain treats social disconnection as a serious threat to survival, triggering the same alarm systems used to respond to bodily harm. This connection between emotional and physical pain is rooted in evolution. Early humans depended heavily on social bonds for survival. Being part of a group offered protection, food, and support, while isolation often meant vulnerability and death. To prevent separation from others, the brain evolved to associate social loss with intense pain. In this way, emotional suffering acts as an adaptive mechanism. It pushes individuals to repair relationships, seek comfort, and re-establish social connections. Heartbreak, therefore, is not a weakness. It is the brain's way of ensuring that people stay attached and connected to others. During heartbreak, several neurochemical changes also occur in the brain. Dopamine levels, which were once elevated during love and attachment, drop sharply, leading to feelings of emptiness and loss of pleasure. Simultaneously, the stress hormone cortisol increases, causing physical symptoms such as fatigue, insomnia, and anxiety. The drop in serotonin, a neurotransmitter associated with mood regulation, can intensify obsessive thinking about the lost relationship, leading to rumination and emotional distress. These biochemical reactions explain why heartbreak feels like withdrawal, because it is. The same reward pathways that make love feel pleasurable are suddenly deprived of stimulation, creating a state similar to addiction recovery. Brain imaging studies further confirm this. When people who have recently been rejected look at photos of their former partners, the same brain regions activated by drug cravings light up. This shows that love functions much like an addiction in the brain, and heartbreak resembles the painful process of detoxification. The person experiences cravings, emotional highs and lows, and difficulty focusing on anything else. Over time, as the brain adjusts and rewires itself, these responses gradually weaken, allowing healing to occur. Despite its pain, heartbreak serves an important psychological purpose. It allows the brain to process the loss, reflect on the relationship, and eventually rebuild emotional strength. The same neural plasticity that enables love also enables recovery. With time and positive experiences, new neural connections form, gradually replacing pain with acceptance and resilience. Social support plays a crucial role in this process. Spending time with friends, family, or even engaging in acts of kindness can trigger the release of oxytocin and endorphins, chemicals that promote healing and reduce distress. This is why people often find comfort in connection after loss. The brain's chemistry is designed to respond to affection and care. Interestingly, heartbreak also strengthens empathy and emotional depth. Experiencing social pain teaches the brain about vulnerability, compassion, and understanding, enabling individuals to form deeper and more meaningful connections in the future. The same circuits that cause pain during loss also contribute to the joy of renewed connection once healing begins. This duality shows that the brain's design prioritizes connection at every stage, through love, loss, and recovery. Ultimately, the neuroscience of heartbreak reveals that emotional pain is not imagined or exaggerated. It is real, measurable, and deeply intertwined with the body's systems of survival and attachment. The brain reacts to rejection as though it were a wound, signaling that social bonds are vital to human life. Though heartbreak can feel devastating, it is part of a natural process that reminds us of the profound importance of love, belonging, and human connection. The way people form and maintain relationships is shaped largely by their early life experiences. Neuroscience has shown that attachment patterns, secure or insecure, are not just emotional tendencies but deeply ingrained neural frameworks that develop in the brain during childhood. These patterns are formed through repeated interactions with caregivers, shaping how individuals perceive love, trust, and safety. A child whose needs are consistently met learns that the world is reliable and that others can be trusted, leading to a secure attachment style. In contrast, inconsistent, neglectful, or traumatic caregiving can create insecurity, fear, and difficulty forming healthy bonds later in life. Yet, one of the most remarkable discoveries in neuroscience is that the brain remains capable of change. Through new experiences, therapy, and loving relationships, these attachment pathways can be rewired, allowing people to develop more secure and fulfilling connections. In the early years of life, the brain is highly plastic, constantly forming new connections based on emotional experiences. When caregivers respond warmly and predictably, the child's brain releases oxytocin, which reduces stress and promotes feelings of calm and safety. Over time, this consistent nurturing strengthens the neural circuits associated with trust, empathy, and emotional regulation. As the child grows, these early patterns serve as an internal template for future relationships, influencing how they relate to partners, friends, and even their own children. The foundation of emotional security, therefore, is built not through words but through the brain's repeated experiences of comfort and care. However, when caregiving is inconsistent or absent, the brain develops differently. Children who experience neglect, rejection, or unpredictability often show heightened activity in the amygdala, the region of the brain associated with fear and threat detection. This leads to an increased state of vigilance and anxiety, as the brain learns to expect instability. Over time, these neural adaptations can result in attachment styles characterized by avoidance, anxiety, or fear of intimacy. Such individuals may struggle to trust others, crave closeness but fear rejection, or distance themselves emotionally to avoid being hurt. These behaviors are not simply personality traits, they are the brain's learned strategies for survival in an uncertain emotional environment. Despite these challenges, the human brain possesses a remarkable capacity for change. Neuroplasticity allows old patterns to be reshaped and new ones to be formed throughout life. Experiences that evoke safety, care, and emotional attunement can gradually modify the brain's responses to relationships. For example, psychotherapy helps individuals recognize and reprocess early attachment wounds, fostering self-awareness and healthier emotional regulation. Similarly, forming a loving relationship with a partner who provides consistent support and reassurance can stimulate oxytocin in release, calming the amygdala and reinforcing feelings of trust and security. Over time, these positive interactions create new neural pathways that replace old, defensive patterns with openness and confidence in connection. Neuroscience also shows that mindfulness and self-compassion can rewire attachment responses. Practices that promote emotional awareness activate the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for regulating impulses and soothing distress. This helps individuals recognize when their fear or insecurity stems from old experiences rather than current reality, allowing them to respond to love with greater clarity and balance. By strengthening the brain's ability to manage emotional responses, mindfulness fosters resilience and supports the gradual development of secure attachment. The ability to change attachment patterns underscores the adaptability of the human brain. Although early experiences leave a powerful imprint, they do not determine destiny. The brain continues to learn from every relationship, every moment of care, and every experience of safety. With time and effort, even those who have suffered from broken or insecure attachments can build a sense of trust and connection. Love, therapy, and conscious effort work together to rewrite the brain's emotional blueprint, proving that healing and growth are always possible. The neuroscience of attachment thus offers a hopeful message. While early experiences shape us, they do not define us, and the power to form deep, secure bonds remains within reach throughout life.